welcome back. I have a desire, and that desire is to really talk to you about and explore desire itself. What is desire, and what does it really mean to us? Because to me, desire has become very convoluted, and it's kind of a hijacked thing by society. And I was inspired by this book and this individual. The book is Desire. Dr. Saida Desolé wrote the book. She's the most amazing embodied individual I really have ever come across, and I have been working with her and studying her other programs. But she wrote this book, and I've read it I don't know how many times already. It's just a little book, an easy read, but it's really can be life changing, and it really, every time I read it, I shift a little bit more into realizing and understanding the importance of connecting with what is my true desire, my true essence, my true encoded soul purpose, basically. And as I work with people in my sessions for many, many years, and it's so common to come across people wanting to know what their purpose is. And I feel like you cannot separate purpose and desire. Desire is your soul calling you basically to your purpose and your gifts and your real, true, authentic self, and how that authentic self expresses. But we're hijacked again by conditioning and by domestication and by programming and our need to fit in and belong to society. It's, there's a basic need or necessity for safety and for being able to survive in society. And what happens is our desires get buried, programmed, and hijacked. I mean, for example, I take my own life, and I graduated from high school, and I went to college. I got a degree in business, finance. I'm good with numbers. I got a job in the banking industry, and I graduated from college and started pursuing my career, and I got married. And that's what you do, right? That's what you do. You go to high school, you go to college, you don't go to college, you get married, you have children, and you're creating and building a life. But it was always on to the next thing. They got married, and then I got divorced because something wasn't right. And I've tried following the career path and doing this and doing that, and something wasn't right. There's no contentment. There's no fulfillment. It was always on to the next thing. And you see this. It's pervasive in society. It's always on to the next thing, to the next car, to the next kid, to the next husband, to the next, because we're not following our true heart's desire, our true soul desire. I want to separate the heart and the soul, our true authentic desire, what our purpose is, and how we get into our purpose and then learn how to express our inherent gifts in our life. And this is where I have found fulfillment and contentment, true fulfillment and true contentment. And I've been able to step away from the desire to pursue certain things and the desire to have certain things. And, they all become empty. And you see that. I see that over and over again with people that I work with as they move through life, and they've married the doctor, and they have the house, and they have the money and the cars and the trips and the this and the that, and yet they're empty. They're unfulfilled, and they're constantly seeking and constantly creating drama to satisfy this emptiness really that's in them, because they're not pursuing their true desire. And I'll give another example to me of one of my true desires since I was very young. And you can find your true desires if you go back to yourself as a youngster, and the things that you really wished for and the things that you love to do, love to play at. This is where your desires are. And for me, one of my desires, very impractical desire, has always been horses, to be around horses, to own a horse. I always said, someday I'm going to own a horse. And I have not manifested that desire, but I recognize that as a true desire. But I have a friend who amazing. She followed her desire around horses, and she didn't grow up with horses. She worked at a big corporation. She made some money. She bought some land. It had stables on it, and she has horses, and it's her purpose is in this. Her gifts express out because she shares it. She boards horses, and she has this amazing system. She calls it the urban herd, and as an individual, if you live near there, you can pay a certain amount per month, and you can go up and be active with the horses, ride the horses, feed the horses, take care of the horses. And it's amazing and a beautiful system. And she shares it with others. I mean, what a gift. And I was privileged to spend some time there not too long ago. And it was just like, oh, man, I could do this every day. Get up early in the morning and you get the horses out. You put them in the pasture and you feed them and you make their mash and you bring them back in the evening and you interact with them. And she had some chickens, and it was just, oh man, really saying to me. But anyway, that's for me for another time. But I recognize that as really a true desire. But I have other desires. And as I learn what it is that I desire, what it is I desire to see in the world and see myself doing, and start moving towards that, my life becomes more contented and more fulfilled. So I have this idea, and I'm going to put together a series, and hopefully I'm going to get it in time to start on November 9th. And Brian and I are going to work together on this. And I'm calling the series Personal Transformation, the Search for Purpose, or something along that line. It's a personal transformation, and it's about finding your desire, and finding your desire rooted in your purpose. And it's a journey only you can take. You have to take responsibility for yourself in this journey. But I can talk about experiences of my own. I can give you tools and ideas and things to work with, things for you to think about. But no one can tell you your purpose. Only you can find your purpose. And I'm going to read this bit just to finish up for this little video on desire. And this is something that I'm really very excited about, and I'm excited about to share my experiences, and I'm excited for you, and holding a space and holding a container for you to be able to really search into yourself, and maybe use some of the tools that we come up with, and find where your true north is, find what your true desire is, and maybe be able to start moving towards that in your own life. I'm just going to read just a little, the Desire Manifesto at the end of this Saida's book, Desire. It's called Desire Manifesto again. Desire gets a bad rap. Like the presence of Mae West on the tip of our consciousness. It's alluring, enlivening, and threatening. But desire's trial doesn't end there. Not only does it affect the non-believer, it horrifies and terrifies believers of many great religions. Still, there is something gorgeous about desire. It never really goes away. It shows up every spring in the newly unfurling green and the mating songs that create a symphony of life. It wakes up the world. It wakes us up. Fundamentally, desire is life. When denied, we shut down. The world becomes a continual landscape of gray, filled with the eerie ring of the monotone. Nothing tastes, nothing smells, and nothing feels. We are numb. We are proof that zombies do walk this earth. However, when desire, even after years of denial, is given a breath, a quickening happens. A pulse, a rhythm, linked to something older than our baubles and religions, older even than our species. Within each of us is a prime directive, an encoded force that we cannot measure, yet know of, because without it, there is no life. To be willing to unfetter our desire is to say yes to life. And with that, we are switched on, lit up, ignited, and our unborn gifts finally have the space to emerge. It is the fulfillment of desire that is the fulfillment of our destiny, of our dharma, and our reason for being here. The choice to truly hear and align ourselves with desire is the choice of aligning our inner compass with true north. Like all adventures, nothing is ever as it seems. There are trials and initiations that all appear at every new curve in the road. The greatest of these is our human impulse to conform, ensuring our survival through our need to belong. I think that's really important, talking about how we sell ourselves short by our need to conform. I don't know if that comes across clearly in the way it's written. Now, more than ever, as our evolution rests in our own hands, we face perhaps our greatest adversary, a mass illusion of what it means to be fully alive, conscious, creative, and contributing human beings. And this is where desire kicks in. Dare your desire. I love that. And I'm really excited about this 21-day challenge, the 21-day personal transformation challenge. And like this says, as you step into yourself and align yourself with your true north, your inner north, our unborn gifts finally have space to emerge. It's exactly what I was talking about in the gifts that come out. And this is where we find our purpose, and this is where we find our fulfillment and our contentment. And I'm going to link this book below in the description. It's an Amazon link, but I'm sure you can get it. I know you can get it at Barnes and Noble. I think the major bookstores are carrying it. I'd also love to do maybe a book club. So I don't know, we can read a chapter and discuss it in chat, maybe do a live stream and discuss it, or I don't know how we'll do that, but if you're interested in anything like that, you might email me, and maybe we can somehow start a discussion group around this book. But in the meantime, I'm going to be working on the 21-day challenge, the personal transformation challenge, which I'm really excited about. We're going to dare into our desires, and so I really look forward to seeing everyone. And think about it. Think about you, and think about your true north, and think about your true desires. Go back to when you were a child, like I was saying. Dig around in there and see, what is it that really lights me up? What is it that really makes me fulfilled? This is where we're going.